Hey Glamours, welcome back to my channel. So today we are doing a little bit of a different video and I'm going to be answering some of the questions that you had regarding my labour vlog, specifically for my labour, pregnancy and now into motherhood. So if you don't know or you haven't met him, this is my son Weston. Say hi Weston! Say hi! Say hi! He's too interested in his little toys down here. So he is now about to be 16 weeks old. I have no idea how, it's gone so quick. I've been pretty lucky, I've been blessed with pretty chill, easygoing baby, but lately he's been teething. He's had teething symptoms since 3 months old. There's no, oh you're dribbling on me. Where was I? He doesn't have a tooth coming through, but there's definitely the signs there, so it's been quite a fun time. Alright, I'll just jump straight into the questions. So Danica asked me, this might be a little personal and totally understand if it is, but I remember in your birth story you said that he was still in the sack. Would you share that photo as it would be amazing to see? I'll have a little look through and see if I have any where my vagina isn't just fully on show. If not, I'll pull one from the web where you can probably see. I don't think I got one where I could really properly see his head floating in the sack. I think they were taken earlier when the bubble was coming out. But I'll have a look through and see if I have any that are decent that I can share, or I'll give you a rough idea, but it was really cool looking in person. The next question was sent in anonymously and it said, tips for trying to conceive. Well, I guess Nick and I were lucky we didn't really have a huge problem conceiving. It took us about 5 months to fall pregnant, which in the scheme of things, how much some women or some partners struggle to get pregnant, that was pretty quick. Because we were wanting it so bad, it seemed like such a long time, because when you're actually trying, and I know a lot of people that have, gone through trying to conceive will understand, that 2-week wait where you have to wait to take the test to see if you are pregnant is just like excruciating. It's all you can think about for that 2 weeks. So after about the 4th time doing that, I was just like, oh no, this is going to be an issue, isn't it? And because Nick and I, we'd been together for 10 years before we started trying, or 9 years before we started trying, and in that time we'd never had one scare. We never actively tried and we were most of the time safe, but then once we had been together for a long time and we were building our house and everything together, we weren't exactly careful. So the fact that we hadn't had a slip before and then we'd been trying for 4 or 5 months, I was just like, oh no, we're gonna have a problem. But luckily everything went well. But tips, I would say just don't think about it and relax, take your mind off it. Timing is everything, so I was using ovulation sticks and an app. I can't remember what app I used, but I'll insert it in and it tracked, actually I think it was called Flow. I'm not 100% sure. But I used that app and then I used ovulation sticks to see when I was most fertile. I really think that stress, which is really hard to do because when you're trying to get pregnant, it's all you can think about. But I think this moment you relax, it happens. For me, when I sort of let go of the reins a little bit and I was like, when it happens, it happens. But a funny little story is my friend Kate got me these earrings that had fertility stones in them. They were like stones that are meant to be really good for fertility and conceiving, and she knew that I was starting to get a little bit worried and stressed out about it and just so sick of doing the routine of ovulation sticks. We have to be having sex here, these dates, and just that whole routine, and then waiting to take the test, and then it says no. And so she got me these earrings, and I literally fell pregnant. I think it was like the next week. So if you can get some fertility stone earrings, I highly recommend them. So Jolie Spinks has asked, who is Weston's favourite auntie? Bitch, piss off, I'm not answering that. One of my closest friends trying to get herself a little shout out from Weston. I don't know, we'll ask him. Who's your favourite auntie? Hey, who's your favourite auntie? Give me a smile if your favourite auntie is Jolie. Give me a smile. Chicka 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 chicka. Chicka 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 chicka. Is it Jolie? Jared has asked, when's the next big Tony is the real question. Well, it's at your place, so you've said. Our house is called the Tony. It's sort of what we call our house, you know, like when you have a bar name. It's called the Tony, and it's where we all just have a good time and link up. And we obviously haven't had one in quite some time because I've been pregnant and been living mum life, and now we've been isolated, so I'm very keen for another Tony though. So Chrissy has asked me, noticed you were still in a lot of pain with the gas. Did you wish that you went with anything stronger? No, I didn't need anything stronger. The gas was enough for me to take the edge off, and I think I could have done it even without the gas, but it was really nice to have it there, and mentally just knowing that I was doing something, I think it just helped me mentally more. There was this moment when I think I was on the bed, and it was like probably my second or third contraction, when I went, oh shit, I haven't had the epidural or anything. And I was just like, oh my God, can I do this without it? How much pain is it gonna be? And while I looked and sounded like I was in a lot of pain, I actually wasn't really. It sounded worse than it was, and I think it was just more the sheer work my body was under, and I just couldn't control the sounds and the grunts coming out. It was just more that, rather than me being in so much pain. I was working so hard that my body was just grunting. You know, like when tennis players, they hit like the ball back and they'll put all their effort into it, and they're just like, it just comes out. I think that was what the noises were, not so much me just being in pain. I was happy with it, and I don't think I would have, unless I have longer labours next time, I don't think I will have anything else ever again. I'll probably still have the gas, maybe, I don't know, I might try and see if I can get through. But he come on so fast and intense that, yeah, the gas just really helped me out mentally. Hayley Lee hasn't asked a question, but she just said, literally cried the whole way through this, so special, thanks for sharing, girl. There's been a couple of those. Caitlin Roberts said, not a question, but I definitely didn't cry, with emojis. It's so nice to hear you all say that and thanking me for sharing my experience. I wasn't sure if I was going to share it or going to be able to share it, but once I edited all the footage together and I saw it, I just had to show it. And personally for me, while I was pregnant, I watched so many labour vlogs, and I really loved watching them, especially the moment when the bub arrives. It's such a special moment. It got me really excited to have that moment myself. So I thought, you know, everyone's experience is different, and it'd be nice for people to see my version of the experience, especially, not that you could see it, but hearing what an on-call birth is, because I hadn't heard of it until it happened to me. So, you know, it's an experience that I wanted to share, and that, you know, brings awareness to all different types of births. Roxy Vant has asked, what does 2 in, 2 down mean? So 2 in, 2 down, I reckon you mean 2 up, 2 down. That is what they told me to do with the evening primrose capsules to try and bring on labour. They said to take 2 down and 2 up. So basically swallow 2 capsules and put 2 up my, what that means. And I think you already knew that. Jamea has asked, how quick was the whole birth? So I was induced at 4:30. No, was it 4:30? Oh gosh, I already can't remember. I think it was 3:30, about 4 o'clock. And then he was born at 11:37 that night. The whole experience was about 7 hours. So active labour was about an hour and a half. I was getting a bit fussy and in a bit of pain, so went and gave him some teething syrup and a feed and got him in his jammies because we'll be doing your nighttime routine soon. May's Beauty has asked 2 questions. The first is the hardest part of being a mum so far. I would say the hardest part of pregnancy and being a mum is me learning to slow down. I'm not really one to sit around and do nothing and have nothing going on. I'm a 50 balls in the air at one time kind of person. I really had to learn how to take a back seat and slow down a little bit. Being a mum, you've really got to learn to let go and accept the fact that everything takes the entire day and you still get nothing done. Second question was, what was your recovery like after birth? I recovered pretty quickly, I would say. I tore, so I was stitched up, and I tore on both sides of my labia, I believe. I don't know if that is better or worse. Some say it's worse to get stitched back up pain level wise, but I think I found it easier in recovering because sitting, if you tear the other way from, front to back, I can't imagine sitting and going to the toilet and everything. At least mine was like right up the front and high, so I could sit normally and everything. I bled a lot, but really quickly. I bled heavily for probably, I can't really remember, 4 days, and then for probably a week or 2 it was just constant light spotting. My stomach just went back to being flat. It was a really weird flabby jelly tummy and it just felt so empty and odd. But it went back to being pretty flat and I could fit in, a lot of clothes that I was in previously quite soon after. Other than that, I didn't really have any issues. The only issue that I kept having afterwards, and they're not sure why it was, I never got mastitis, but I kept getting, I think it was like every 2 weeks, I would get, oh darling, you right? Ouchie, yeah? And I kept getting a fever. It felt like I had a really bad flu every 2 weeks. For probably 2 days, my temperature would skyrocket and I'd have the shakes and the cold sweats and my boobs would feel really sore. They think that I was just getting overly full and that I was really sensitive to it. It was the only thing that I had to deal with really. Everything else bounced back surprisingly quickly. I thought that I'd bounce back and I didn't really put on a whole lot of weight, mainly my tummy. So I knew that I'd bounce back, but I didn't think that I would feel so normal so quickly. Kelly has asked, how did you get that kid so perfect? Oops. Oh, darling. If you ask Nick, he'll say it was all him, I reckon. We were just very lucky to get such a beautiful little baby, even though he has slobber everywhere. So Ella has asked, hello Bobby. What are you doing? Sit down. Here you go, you can sit. So Ella has asked, how did you choose the name Weston? We had Weston picked out for probably 6 or 7 years. we had Weston picked out, and then we took it off the table because someone named another baby close to us something similar, and we're worried about them getting confused, and especially Nick's mum, because she struggles enough with names as it is. So we took that off, and then we fell in love with another name, and I won't say what it is because I reckon we'll use it if we get another boy. And then after we'd already conceived, a few months in, Nick just brought Weston back in all of a sudden. In the end, we just really liked the way Weston Walters sound. We liked that it was matchy. I think it was on a list like 100 unique baby names. I don't know, I was on so many lists just trying to find names. Yeah, but I think we have our names picked out. If we have another boy or if we have a girl, I think they're locked and loaded. So Hannah has asked, how is your partner, Nick, doing with fatherhood? Sit down. You're just gonna block me? There, good boy. He's doing great. He was very much ready for it. He'd been ready for a couple of years, so he was so excited. But he's doing really well. He's super helpful. He's already taken a shift. I expressed a heap of milk and had it stockpiled so that I could have a girls' night out, and it was nearly exactly a year since the last time that I had drank or had a girls' night out, so it was just so much fun to get out and just remember who I am for one night. So we just went and had a couple of drinks, and then we went down to a local bar and had a few more drinks, and I got home, and it was really nice to get home. He's really helpful, and when we first got home and he wasn't working, he would get up and change the nappy for me. He would change his nappy and then put him back up onto my chest so I could feed him, and then we'd just do a shift like that. Mia has asked, does Weston have a nickname? Yes, he does. We call him Westy. Pretty simple, we just call him Westy, but we also call him Westy Woodpecker, because when they're hungry they, do that woodpecker motion on your chest. So ever since he's done that, we've called him the Westy the Woodpecker. Alright, so that is all of your questions answered, and this one is getting pretty fussy and tired, so I reckon it's time to go get him ready and put him to bed, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you so much for sending in your questions and joining me. And don't forget to like and subscribe before you go. Alright, bye. Say bye, Westy. Bye, guys.